I noticed you're wearing white today. You should be wearing black, considering you're coming in here with Mercury retrograde.
Bad news, I know. Mercury, the planet of communication, stopped its forward motion last Friday, and it's going backwards for 21 days until, interestingly, April 15th is the day it goes direct. So don't sign anything, begin anything, pretty much believe what you hear if you travel or have plans to travel. Take your bags with you and be flexible and hope that if you get bumped from the airplane, maybe you'll get a better ticket down the road. So it's just, there's no getting around it. And the sad thing is that it's retrograde the entire 3 weeks leading up to tax day. And the last time that Mercury was retrograde leading up to tax day was a day maybe 8-10 years ago when they changed the program or something, and people didn't get refunds until October, November, December, and they lost their taxes. So and I would wait until the 16th or 17th to file those things. And then at the end of the week is the full moon. And so that will really give you an idea of where the Mercury retrograde is going to impact you. So for all the signs, for Aries, since that's the sign it's in, it's about them. They're going to be misunderstood. There's going to be miscommunication involved with that. And so if you're an Aries, write down everything you mean. Make sure that you have a clear understanding of what it is you're saying, and that check to make sure that people got exactly what you meant by it. For Tauruses, they just got to bite their tongues. Mercury's in their 12th house. They have to sit back and find it really hard not to say what they think. It's not going to be easy, and I know some Tauruses that are sitting there going, I can't bite my tongue any harder, but they're going to have to for about 3 weeks, so their own words will come back to haunt them.
Yeah, Pat probably has some words she'd like to share with you on that
I'm sure right about now. For Geminis, this is a challenge for them because Mercury is retrograding in their 11th house of friends, hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And Geminis are really going to find out over the next 3 weeks, and particularly over next weekend, who is on their side and who isn't on their side. And I think that's a very important thing to learn. Who really, because your colleagues go, yeah, we're with you, until it's time to step up and make a stand, and then you kind of look around and they're gone. So it'll be a good thing for our president and Geminis everywhere to find out who is really with them and who is really against them. For Cancers, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing. So expect conflicting information about a professional matter. I don't think that the professional matter is written in stone. I think that it's kind of an evolving kind of thing. So really, don't take everything at just kind of face value until it goes direct, and then you can verify what's really real professionally and what isn't. For Leos, doesn't bother them at all. It's in their 9th house of the law, legal, educational matters. They get to slide something by that's not quite kosher, which is always a cool thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to get away with something, this is the time to do it if you're a Leo.
Wow.
With any kind of paperwork kind of thing.
Normally I dread the retrograde, but this is
not going to be a bad one for you as a Leo, actually. It might even work in your favor one way or the other, which would be very cool. For Virgos, not so much. For Virgos, it means spending a boatload of money on things that you already thought you had taken care of, things you already thought you had fixed, or financial matters you already thought that you dealt with. Guess what? You get to deal with them all over again. So, and again, make sure that the columns add up. For Libras, it's in their 7th house of partners and open enemies, and Libras are going to hear a lot about what their partner has to say. And they really need to listen to their partner because the partner's got actually a pretty legitimate beef. So it would be good for the Libra to acquiesce and say yes dear a lot, because it beats fighting with your partner.
Gotcha.
For Scorpios, it's in their 6th house of work, health, and responsibilities. For Scorpios, there are things that are changing about where they work, not necessarily the job that they do, but where it is they do that job. And they need to just kind of go with that flow. Scorpio is a fixed sign. They don't adjust to change very quickly. But in this case, it's really not a bad thing for them. And also, they should table any kind of medical decisions or any kind of test or anything like that, because I'm not quite sure it'll be accurate. You want to wait till after the 15th, unless you're bleeding from an artery, and then you can't go, I'm sorry, Yeah. For Sagittarians, it's in their 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures. Get to do all that stuff over again. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good time athletically for them. Sagittarians and Leos actually have the easiest time with this particular retrograde. It just doesn't impact them negatively. For Sagittarians, check ideas, make sure everybody's old enough to be playing. For Capricorns, it's in their 4th house of home, their home and their foundations, and they really are going to want to knock down walls, paint, refurbish, remodel. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you have a plan. Don't go at it with going, I'll just paint this wall, because every wall you touch, the wall next to it looks dingy. And then if you do paint your houses, for God's sake, don't stay in them. Go someplace else while it cures. For my lesson, for Aquarians, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. And they're going to find the hardest thing to do is not to duplicate their efforts, not to end up backtracking, not to end up having to do the same thing over and over again, like an endless Groundhog Day for Aquarians. So make sure that you have a firm idea of what your schedule is and then try and stick to it so you don't fall behind the power curve. And then for Pisces, much like Virgos, they're spending a boatload of money. But the good thing with Pisces is they get the opportunity to make money, but they have to really be careful not to be scammed and not to be conned. And to realize that you don't get something for nothing, and all that glitters really isn't gold. So they just need to be careful financially to make sure that they don't get taken advantage of. So, and this will all become clear to everybody by the weekend when the moon is full. They'll see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mercury, the planet of communication, going retrograde. And the good news is it's 21 days and we're 19 days left. So
away we go.
That's the best I can do.
We'll see you next week.
Hopefully. Always a pleasure.